Good, happy Saturday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Saturday evening edition of Good Evening, New Hampshire. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this Saturday evening edition of Good Evening, New Hampshire. It's Saturday, January 18, 2020. I hope you all enjoy watching. Let's begin. First up, we're going to begin with local news. In local news tonight, fire at Manchester apartment building displaces 12. 12 people were displaced after a fire at a Manchester apartment building early Saturday. Crews responded to 701 Grove Street just after midnight and found a fire in the ceiling between the second and third floors of the three-story building, the Manchester Fire Department said in a press release. The fire was quickly extinguished, but 2 floors sustained smoke damage and the other floor sustained water damage. The fire department said the blaze was caused by faulty wiring in a light fixture. Damage to the 6-unit building was estimated at $20,000. The Red Cross was helping the 12 displaced residents. A firefighter suffered a minor injury to his fingers while responding. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into national news. In national news, 3 major U.S. airports to check incoming passengers for potential deadly virus. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
New screenings in place at 3 major U.S. airports to check incoming passengers for a potentially deadly virus. The first of these screenings happening overnight at JFK International Airport. That's where ABC's Stephanie Ramos joins us with the latest developments. Stephanie, good morning to you.
Whit, good morning. About 60,000 people travel into the U.S. from Wuhan, China every year. This is why CDC officials are taking this new deadly respiratory virus so seriously. Wuhan is where it was first reported. Screenings, as you mentioned, started here at JFK last night, and they continue this morning at San Francisco's International Airport, where another direct flight from Wuhan is expected to land. This morning, U.S. airports are screening airline passengers who are arriving from China for the new deadly virus that the CDC says has made dozens of people sick and has killed 2. The CDC is sending 100 health officials to assist at San Francisco International Airport, LAX, and New York's JFK, where this flight from the outbreak city of Wuhan arrived overnight. Experts say this new type of virus, called the coronavirus, typically causes symptoms of the common cold, but can lead to pneumonia. Federal health officials will take temperatures and ask passengers if they have any symptoms. They're expecting to screen about 5,000 passengers at these 3 airports for the next few weeks.
They're really going to be diverted into a separate area from everyone else, so we're not expecting this to affect the overall arrival activity at SFO.
Many cases of the virus traced back to this food market in Wuhan. Coronaviruses are often found in animals. It's unclear if this new one can spread easily from person to person. Countries like Thailand and Japan screening incoming airline passengers as well as a precaution.
We have done the best we can. We have alerted people to take precaution when they travel from China or to China.
The CDC is taking that extra precaution here. They've even set up special quarantine areas here at the airport. Whit,
All right, Stephanie, our thanks to you. Let's bring in ABC's chief medical correspondent, Dr. Jennifer Ashton. Dr. Ashton, always
Morning,
great
Rick.
to see you.
Yeah.
Good morning. There seems to be a lot of unknowns with this virus. So what's the most important thing for people to know?
Well, let's start with what we know and then what we don't know. This coronavirus is a novel or new strain. Generally, as we heard Stephanie say, in humans, it can cause mild or moderate cold-like symptoms. What we don't know is if it could change. We don't know the incubation period. We don't know how contagious this is in humans. So right now, a lot to be discovered about this.
When people hear about airport screenings, it's very alarming to hear that sort of thing, especially if you're traveling. Why is the CDC taking this important step?
Well, I think this is not just for optics. This is not just for show. There's no reason to panic here, but I think that in speaking to some of the country's top public health officials and infectious disease specialists last night, they made it clear to me that this is an evolving and dynamic situation. The thought is that the risk to the overall U.S. population at this time is low, but history is important. This comes from the same family as the SARS and MERS virus, which came with a very high death rate, and that is why people in this country and across the world are taking it seriously.
That's right, taking every precaution. All right,
Yeah.
Dr. Ashton, thank you so
You
much.
bet,
I
Whit.
appreciate it.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into weather. Your weather for tonight, snow continues into early Sunday morning. With that weather video, let's listen to meteorologist Haley LaPointe.
This economy is not working for most of us. There is not one county in the United States of America where someone working full-time at the minimum wage can afford a two-bedroom apartment. The biggest problem in our economy is simple. People are not getting paid enough.
Hi, everybody. I'm meteorologist Haley LaPointe. Here's an update on your forecast. We have a quick round of snow overnight tonight and into the early morning hours on Sunday. If you have travel plans during that time frame, it will be slick. Already seeing slick travel conditions across the state with the snow moving through. At times overnight, an inch plus per hour is possible in some of the heavier bands that move through. Most of this, though, ends by daybreak. It will continue in the White Mountains and North Country into the early morning hours on Sunday, but for the most part, this is quick, just a few hours with the snow heaviest during the overnight. Most locations, about 4 to 8 inches of snow, but the more to the north and east you are, the heavier amounts of snow, like in the White Mountains, easily between 6 to 12 inches of snow. Now, this is going to be a light and fluffy snow since the temperatures are pretty cold in the single digits and teens, so it'll be easy to clean up, but it also usually sticks to the roadways a lot easier and it's tougher to clean up. So tonight, high travel impacts due to the icy and snow-covered roadways. Tomorrow morning, a medium threat because the snow will have stopped for most people by Sunday, say 7 a.m., but there still will be cleanup going on at that time. By the evening, certainly even the afternoon and evening on Sunday, you're good to go. Monday, actually, we're back to sunshine and no problems with travel. We have a winter weather advisory for Grafton County and then points to the south. That means we have a general 4 to 8 inches in these locations, but where there will likely be heavier snow from Carroll County up into Coos County, that's where we have a winter storm warning, and that goes until noontime on Sunday. So the snow overtaking the state, pretty much everybody has it flying now, and there are some heavier bands to our south and west. That's this darker purple here, and these bands will occasionally pump into the area through the overnight. But this is a pretty narrow band of snow, and once it goes through during the overnight, it's gone for many people by the early morning hours. I'll pause you. This is midnight, and you see it's still snowing everywhere. In a couple spots, it's more intense than others. But by 4 a.m., we're actually beginning to see the snow taper off in southern New Hampshire first, and then that line will quickly go up into the northern part of the state. This is 7 a.m., so if you do have plans to travel early Sunday morning, you go to church services or whatnot, it's actually going to be drying out at that time. Could be still some lingering flurries, maybe at the seacoast, certainly in the mountains and north, but the sun will break out in southern New Hampshire through the morning, and this is noontime on Sunday. Still some snow showers in Coos County and in the White Mountains. That'll be the case all day long. And in fact, in the afternoon, this is 5 p.m., we see a couple of snow squalls moving through. but the bulk of the snow that we have moving through overnight is gone by then. Monday, back to some sunshine, but cold sunshine. As far as how much snow, well, again, from the White Mountains and in the Mount Washington Valley, North Country, except for the Connecticut River Valley, where you're more 4 to 8 there. But we're looking at 6 to 12 inches, this pink area, then a pretty broad area of 4 to 8 inches, including Concord, Manchester, and then from, say, Nashua to Portsmouth, about 3 to 5 inches of snow expected. And as far as how it will pile up, well, as we go through the overnight, probably be between 9 p.m. and 1 a.m. that we get the 5 inches in Nashua. So it's a quick burst through the late evening tonight and early morning hours on Sunday. Tomorrow the temperature is 20s and 30s, so we'll see a rapid turnaround after how cold it's been recently. But it gets cold again by Martin Luther King Jr. Day with temperatures in the 20s, only 20 for the high on Tuesday, but very quiet. A lot of sun through the week here with clouds. The next chance for some snow and mix would be late Saturday night.
Okay, and there you go on that weather video from meteorologist Haley LaPointe. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into sports. Good, happy Saturday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to Sports with Riley King. Let's begin. Introducing young hoop star Pure King from Sundane is a freshman at West High School. Let's take a listen to that video from WNUR News 9, Jamie Stapleton.
The greed and corruption undermining our democracy is bigger than one man, and so is the solution. We will make billionaires pay their fair share.
Escaping the chaos and poverty of a war-torn country, Sudan, and finding a home and success in Manchester through basketball. We've been following athletes that took this path in recent years. Wenyan Gabriel's in the NBA. His younger siblings are D1 college players. Cook, also from Sudan, is a freshman basketball player at UConn. And there is another rising talent from Sudan that is just coming onto the scene now. Introducing Manchester West freshman Kerr Tang, a 14-year-old that dropped 30 points on Milford in his first varsity game. At 6'3", needs to grow some more to become a Division I player in college, but he's on his way. West head coach Justin Gorham says Kerr is silky smooth and that he does things on the court that he's not seen before from a freshman, and that Kerr is especially elite at pulling up and hitting jumpers. We were at West High School practice to talk to player and coach.
I think I can shoot the ball well and dribble the ball well, but I think I need to work on my energy in the game, running, defending.
What are your ultimate goals in basketball?
I want to make it to the NBA one day.
Where they came from, if they can, make something as a basketball player and get out of maybe a situation that they were in even before they came here. But some of these guys haven't been here very long, so it's a unique opportunity for them to get out of a bad situation. Right now, his home life is great, and there's other kids that are around that have a really good home life. But where he came from, to get out of that and be really successful, I think it's incredible to see these kids do that.
And Kerr says his family is close friends with the Gabriels, and that includes Pyeth, who's a big-time recruit, heading to UConn women's basketball next year. Tonight, her Bradford Christian team has a home game. We will be there. We'll show you how she does tonight at 11, and we'll see how Kerr does in action for West tonight against Kennett.
Okay, and there you go. Very cool indeed. The Boston Celtics, they play tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. Phoenix Suns at the TD Garden. And you can watch that game on NBSB and FSAZ. UNA Chalky team blows 3-0 lead, then beats Providence 4-3. What could have been a frustrating loss for the University of New Hampshire turned into a memorable victory Friday night at number 11 Providence College in the Hockey East game. Congratulations, UNH Hockey. And also, UNH Wildcats Hockey plays tonight against number 11 Providence in Durham, New Hampshire at 7 o'clock p.m. And that is it for this Saturday evening edition of Sports with Riley King. I hope you all enjoyed watching. Have a great rest of your Saturday evening. I'll be back here tomorrow for another edition of Sports with Riley King. Good night and bye, everyone. Okay, and there you go. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into New Hampshire Life, and let's begin with your New Hampshire event calendar for this evening. As a Heart live in concert, 7 p.m. at the Dean Center at St. Anselm College. Rhythm of the Night, 7 p.m. at the Concord City Auditorium. Always ... Pasty Klein, 7:30 p.m. at Peterborough Playhouse. On the Town, a 1949 classic with Gene Kelly and Frank Sinatra, filled with song and dance, 7:30 p.m. at the Village Players Theatre. We Shall Overcome, 8 p.m. at the Colonial Theatre. Music with DJ Kevin at Patrick's Pub and Eatery at 8 p.m. Concord Bosquen Contra Dance, 8 p.m. at the Bosquen Congregational Church. Chicago High School Edition, 8 p.m. at the Seacoast Repertory Theater. And that is a look at your event calendar in New Hampshire and near the cities and towns around New Hampshire. Also happening this evening, happening right now at SNHU Arena, professional bull fighters at SNHU Arena. That is happening right now. Cook's Corner, buffalo chicken wontons. Let's take a look at that video from WMUR News 9, Cook's Corner with Mike Cherry.
The Army has been an awesome experience, but after Roman was born, I started transitioning out to spend more time with the family. I found this job as an operations manager on LinkedIn. I applied, and I ended up getting a job.
Cook's Corner is on the road today. We are in Salem at Barron's Major Brands and Appliances, and we got the guys from Shoppers Pub and Eatery joining us. We got Joey and Mike. Thank you guys for being here.
Thanks for having us.
What are you guys making?
Today we're going to make the buffalo chicken wontons.
Oh, sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Go ahead. You can start diving in if you want.
Joey can take over. I'm going to mix
absolutely.
away.
Joey, tell me a little bit about what's inspiration? What goes into this?
So these wontons, you see buffalo chicken dip at a lot of places. Everyone likes it. Everyone orders it. We just tried to find a nice way to make it easier on the mesh, the broken chips, the dirty fingers. So using these thick wontons, we've really found a way to give a lot of flavor to it. So this is based off a 1 pound chicken recipe, 2.5 ounces of buffalo sauce, 1.5 ounces each of cream cheese, blue cheese. Pretty simple, straightforward. We really see the flavor coming out in the wonton as well when you cook it, right at that Goldilocks zone in the oil. And we just...
The Goldilocks zone, I love that. And you gotta love when you can get your hands a little dirty.
That's why you need the gloves. It's got nothing to do with any health codes. You need the gloves to keep your hands safe.
Right. So again, this is one of those. There's a lot of these kinds of items on your menu, isn't there?
There are. Everything we do is essentially from scratch. We take a lot of pride in our kitchen. We take a lot of pride in our front. We've 18 TVs. We really like to bring that sports atmosphere, but it's not just frozen food items out of the kitchen either. We take a lot of pride in our food.
Yeah, I mean, what is it about making the items fresh that was so important to you?
You can tell. You have customers would just say they can see the product coming out and the love of it. So we're just really proud of putting out a good product and not just a frozen processed chicken finger.
Yeah, absolutely. Now again, you folks are relatively new to the area, so where can folks find you?
So we're at 18 Lake Avenue in Manchester, New Hampshire, right across from the SNHU Arena.
Yeah.
We are in the old Indian Head Athletics building. You know, the York family who have recently closed Indian Head Athletics still have York Athletics online. They are just great people, great partners and landlords, and we just couldn't be happy to be in Manchester with them.
Yeah, I mean, and again, hence, there's a little bit of a nod to them, isn't there?
Absolutely. We couldn't come here without bringing the shoes as well.
All right, Mike, take us through what you're doing right now.
Well, right now, I'm going to take the gloves off
Yep.
to wrap it up. So I had to seal the edges here with some water. It helps the wonton seal up. I'm going to press it, get it nice and firm.
Very precise one.
Yeah, you have to. That's just going to explode. It'll be a mess. You don't want that. Be cleaning your
No, you
fryolators. Yep. Been down that road.
So again, what are some of your top sellers right now?
So these, we brought them because they sell, obviously. We have steak tips pizza. We have a 16-inch, a 10-inch, and a Sicilian-style pizza. Our steak tips, chicken wings, all stuff that we move, we love, and very proud of.
Very nice. And of course, look at that. You've been doing this for a little bit.
A couple of times. He taught.
Right. And again, you look at the finished product, beautiful stuff. Hey guys, we appreciate your time being here. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, and there you go. Very cool. And those wontons are at the Shoppers Pub and Eatery. I'll need to check that restaurant out. Sounds like a good place to go and eat. And we're gonna switch gears now. Let's go into entertainment news. What to expect from this year's Super Bowl? Let's take a look at that video from Good Morning America.
In case you missed it, there was some major Super Bowl news this week. Demi Lovato will be singing the national anthem before the biggest game in football. And get this, she tweeted a decade ago, quote, "One day, I'm going to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. One day." It turns out that day is February 2nd. The singer of Sorry Not Sorry is joining a star-studded lineup of women taking over Miami. J-Lo, Shakira, headlining the halftime show. We'll find out tomorrow which teams will face off in Miami. In tomorrow's championships, the Green Bay Packers will battle it out with the San Francisco 49ers, and the Tennessee Titans will take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Love hockey.
So many people cheering for Lovato, though. I mean, she's been very open
Yes,
about her issues
yes.
with addiction, and here she is. Huge comeback, huge stage. Go, Demi.
Yes,
Yeah.
very brave.
Definitely a girl
Very
power Super Bowl.
For sure.
Love
He's
that.
here for it.
Love that.
Well, hey there.
Okay, and there you go on that video. Very cool indeed. And that does it for this evening edition of Good Evening New Hampshire. I hope you all enjoyed watching this evening edition of Good Evening New Hampshire. Have a great rest of your Saturday evening, everyone. Be safe in the snow if you are out and about. And I will see you back here tomorrow night for another edition of Good Evening New Hampshire. And I'll see you back here bright and early for Good Morning New Hampshire. Good night and bye, everyone.